Hi everyone, my name is Aaliyah Solis, and today I'll be talking about the infamous 2004 Sumatra tsunami that took place on December 26th. And I wanted to dive in a little bit deeper on the most deadliest tsunami that has been recorded in history. Now, a tsunami is composed of tsunami waves, not tidal waves. They are completely different due to that circular motion of that tsunami wave. And they're usually caused by sudden seafloor changes, such as underwater landslides, underwater volcanic eruptions, and the most common underwater earthquakes. Now, usually when these tsunamis are about to hit, usually they take place in the Pacific Ocean around the Ring of Fire, and they are usually signaled and to gain those warnings to tell people to evacuate. But in the Sumatra tsunami, it actually took place in the Indian Ocean, and they were not able to get any signals or warnings that this huge, massive tsunami was about to hit. So that Sumatra tsunami happened on December 26th, of course, the day after Christmas, and many countries, about 11 countries, were affected by this tsunami, such as Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, the Maldives, and so many more. Again, this was caused by an underwater earthquake. And so that underwater earthquake was a magnitude of 9.2, again in the Indian Ocean. Um, the epicenter of that earthquake was off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. Now, that earthquake was due to a megathrust fault, and the oceanic crust had subducted underneath a continental crust, and around 1,200 kilometers of seafloor displaced between the Burma and Indian plate. And when this happens, it displaces water up into gigantic waves that spread throughout the whole ocean. So you could see that again, where it starts on the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, it starts to spread over India, Sri Lanka, and it continues. It can reach Madagascar. And when it's on that ocean, in that open ocean, it travels faster. So when it's starting to reach the coast, it starts to slow down. And you'll see that, for example, in Thailand, the water started to retreat back first. So you'll see a lot of opened land, like all this right here. The sand is wide open. You can see it. It's retrieved really, really far back. And the locals and the tourists start to go out, maybe catch some fish or to check it out, because to them it was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It was intriguing. So they go out, and here comes this big surge wall of water, and it swamps over the land. It wipes out their coastal village and those people. And it will travel more than 3,000 miles. And in this tsunami, it traveled 3,000 miles up that coast. So you'll see here in Indonesia, all that land and all the houses and the cars and the people were wiped out. They were all flattened. And you could see how far this kind of goes back. Again, it travels to 3,000 miles, even more for the Sumatra tsunami. Here's another one in India. Again, just flattens and splurges all over their land, their homes, and people. About 230,000 to 300,000 people had died due to this tsunami. And when a tsunami, usually there is warning, but in this case, there was no warning. So if you're on the coast and you see that water retreat really far back, you run to get high ground. You get away as far as you can from that coast, because a tsunami is about to come and hit. And usually people aren't aware of what causes tsunamis. It's underwater seafloor changes, right? So if there's a volcano on land or there's an earthquake on land, those won't cause tsunamis. It's that underwater seafloor change. And I think people need to be more aware of this, and to also be educated on it, because if one is about to happen in their area, or if they're on the coast and they see these signals, then that gives them a chance to run and to reach that high ground in the future. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are more aware and more educated on the 2004 Sumatra tsunami.